What is up, everybody? It's Jack here, back on Runescape, and how's it going? So anyway, guys, I wanted to talk about something real quick that came up today. This really isn't a planned commentary, I don't have a script or anything, but I just felt that this should be talked about, because it was something that happened today that kind of struck a chord. So, for those of you that don't know, I work at a swimming pool at a very rich apartment complex in place in New York, and I meet a lot of different people there every single day. Some of them are movie stars, some of them are just successful and wealthy businessmen, and then some of them are people, just retired people with a lot of money. But the thing that I've enjoyed about this job is that I get to spend my day talking to these people, and I get to learn about them, which is really cool. So, throughout the day, I meet a bunch of people, and, you know, sometimes I'm a little tired of my job. I don't know one person that doesn't get bored of their job after a while, especially because me, I have a 10-hour shift. I'm there from, about 8:30 in the morning until 7 o'clock at night. So after a while, it does get a bit monotonous, and, you know, I don't really care for it all the time. But, you know, I'll do it anyway, whatever. It's not a big deal. So, the day's going on, and it gets to around 6 o'clock. And around 6 o'clock is when all the families go to eat dinner, and I'm there by myself, and I just start cleaning up for the day, because no one else shows up, since there's only 1 hour left, and it's usually around where people eat dinner. And then so I decided that, you know what, I'm going to go take my break. I'm going to go lock up the pool real quick, go to the bathroom, grab a drink from the vending machine, whatnot. So I'm walking over to the vending machine, and this guy stops me, and he's like about a 50-year-old guy. He's kind of shaky, his eyes are a little bloodshot, and I'm like, okay, well, what's this guy's problem? I don't know. He looks a little weird. And he stops me and says, are you the lifeguard? I'm like, yeah. He says, well, listen, I want to go swim. I'm like, okay, no problem, I'll be back in a minute. And he says, but I'm kind of junked up on a lot of medication. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit of a warning sign, you know, he's looking kind of tweaky. And now he tells me he's on a lot of medication. It kind of sounds like he's a bit of a junker. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll be back very soon. Don't go in the pool yet, you know, whatever. So I come back, and I kind of rush out of the bathroom, and I say, you know what, sir, just out of curiosity, what medication are you taking? Because at this point, I'm a little suspicious, and I'm supposed to, you know, report to my boss if something seems a little weird. But I didn't want to suspect anything, so I asked him. And he says, well, to be honest, I'm taking cancer medication. And at that point, I felt like the biggest douchebag in the world. Because at that point, I thought he was some junker or whatever. And I didn't realize that. So he tells me that he has something called melatonin mestasis. I think that's the way you say it. I'm not too sure. Which means that if you tan for too long and you stay in the sun without proper protection, you get poisoning in your blood, pretty much. And he was telling me that the poison, or the, you know, whatever it was, the disease traveled to his brain, his lungs, and his bones. So he's pretty much dying at that point. And that's why he was so shaky, because he's taking all of this medicine just to kind of stay upright. And yeah, so I just felt a little bit of a shock, and I also felt, you know, it really pulled my strings, because for those of you who don't know, I took care of my grandfather for 6 years, and he had 2 different cancers, and eventually one of them caught up to him. And my mother also had breast cancer. My grandmother died of lung cancer, and a couple other people had cancer in my family, but not in my immediate family. So, you know, I felt incredibly bad for this guy, and he was such a nice guy too. He was talking to me, explaining his problem, you know, explaining his hardships of it, and he said, well, what do you do? What are you trying to become? And I explained that I'm trying to become like a doctor and a PA, and I want to do pain management. And he felt like his face kind of lit up, and he seemed so happy that I was helping people, especially people like him. So it kind of jerked me a little bit. Kind of gave, I kind of teared me up a little bit. Um, and I realized I let him swim and everything, and he seemed to be in a lot of pain. But at the end, he thanked me. He said it's so great that I'm able to do this, because I could tell, he's not gonna last much longer. Maybe a couple weeks, maybe a couple months if he's lucky. So it really got me thinking. Every morning I wake up at 4 in the morning, and that's always the first thing I complain about, the fact that I get 4 hours of sleep a night, and that I'm taking care of my dog, and there's fighting going on in the house. And I have this cush job, though, which helps me get away from the people in my life that are hurting me. But there's people on the other spectrum who are not able-bodied. They have a great life, but they don't get to enjoy it. And that was kind of that guy's condition. He lives in a $500,000 condo by himself in a lavish lifestyle, but he's dying from and decaying from the inside out. And it really makes you think that you have to be lucky for what you have. I do complain about my life sometimes, and I try to zone out a little bit from it. But I have to be thankful that I can get up in the morning, drive, take my 4-mile walk or whatever, eat the food that I want to eat, work out, see my friends, do all that kind of stuff, despite the fact that there's fighting and depression at home. And that's pretty much it. You just really have to enjoy your life and look at the little positive things in your life, because you never know how long you're going to enjoy it. And how you're going to be able to enjoy it. So, if you have an opportunity to do something, take it. In my case, I got very lucky this summer, with being offered many different job opportunities because I'm a lifeguard. So I have a very cush job, and I'm very relaxed, especially after a very rough year at school. I also got into a fantastic community college. It's one of the top ranked in the country. So I'm happy for that. It's a great stepping stone to get into my medical school that I want to go to. So you just have to look at the little things. If you enjoy something, do it. Of course, do it in moderation. But if you have something and you really want to step forward and do it, do it. As long as it's not harming yourself, like, partying or drinking or something like that. But if you want to do a sport, do it. If you want to work on a project, you do it. If you want to take up a job opportunity and you think you can be happy later in life from doing it, and you can live comfortably from it, I will have no doubt in my mind that that is the best decision you can make in your life. So that's all I wanted to talk about, guys. It was just something that kind of popped in my head today. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed it. I know it's not a whole lot of conversation. I'm going to try to have some decent gameplay. It's a separate commentary right now. But that's it, guys. I hope it's just something you think about. And that's it. So, enjoy your life. Keep cool. Stay in school. Eat your teeth. Don't do drugs. And I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.